This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by Stamps.com. For how long have I been talking about the Oath Keepers and other disparate, radical, militarized separatist groups? A long time. Stuart Rhodes, I've talked about, the man who was just convicted by a jury of his peers for seditious conspiracy, for entering into a conspiracy to commit sedition against the United States of America in an attempt to overthrow the United States government. Sirens, give me a moment. Maybe they're going to get someone else. They're bad guys. The Oath Keepers, the Three Percenters, the Proud Boys, these other separatist radical groups. And the stated objective of the Oath Keepers is to worm their way in to the government, to recruit cops and members of the federal government to be members, to further their goals, to uphold the Constitution while trying to dismantle it. And we're learning, because of a report here, that 300 members of the Oath Keepers are employed either currently or formally by the Department of Homeland Security. We got a big problem on our hands, a huge problem on our hands of radicalism within the federal government. The call's coming from inside the House. I'm going to read a little bit from this article entitled "Leaked Documents Indicate Over 300 Members of Far-Right Paramilitary Oath Keepers May Be Current or Former DHS Employees," Project on Government Oversight reports. Again, this is something that needs to be combated by our federal government. Just talking about it isn't going to get the job done to stop it in its tracks. This is why I've been so free with my criticism of Merrick Garland and the sloth-like glacial pace that they've taken in prosecuting the crimes. And not the low-level ding-dongs who walk through the Capitol, but the organizers of the violence that day. We're going to get to this, but before we do, a word from today's sponsor. Thank you, Stamps.com. From Stamps.com. We're already deep into the second half of the holiday season, and time is running out. You need to stop playing defense with your gift list if you want to win the match for Team Claus. It's time to sub in a ringer. You see what I'm doing here? Let Stamps.com captain you to a championship Yuletide year. Stamps.com enables you to mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your own computer. Send letters and ship packages without even leaving your home. Just set a pickup and your mail carrier will collect everything from your doorstep. Use Stamps.com this holiday season to trade late nights for silent nights. Simply sign up at Stamps.com/Dollemore for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a free digital scale. Whether you have a sleigh full of gifts to send or a mere stack of holiday cards to get out the door, Stamps.com is your Christmas miracle. Over 1 million businesses have used Stamps.com for more than 20 years, and Stamps will save you money with major discounts on USPS and UPS shipping rates, up to 86% off. Stamps also works seamlessly with Shopify, Amazon, Etsy, and more. The holiday season game clock is counting down. Stamps.com is your path to victory. Go to Stamps.com/Dollemore now to access a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com/Dollemore. With Stamps, you can take the Christmas cup. Happy holidays and go team. So let's get into this. One, I like to talk about these things because from a selfish point of view, it is something that I believed was a problem early on. And now we're starting to have evidence trickle out. And I hope that it wakes people up. I hope you share either this video or this article or go to the actual source documentation from the Project on Government Oversight. Reading from this article again, the title, Leaked Documents Indicate Over 300 Members of Far-Right Paramilitary Oath Keepers May Be Current or Former DHS Employees, Project on Government Oversight reports. Just weeks after Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes was convicted of seditious conspiracy for trying to violently overturn the 2020 election, a leak of the paramilitary group's membership list has revealed that potentially hundreds of far-right extremists have infiltrated federal law enforcement, the Project on Government Oversight reported on Monday. Launched in 2009, the Oath Keepers from the start tried to recruit for military and law enforcement with the ostensible goal of upholding the U.S. Constitution and having its members refuse unlawful orders per the Southern Poverty Law Center, which labels it an extremist group. Now, this is nonsense. It's what I talked about at the opener, that they proclaim themselves to be a patriot group with the stated dedicated objective of upholding the Constitution of the United States, of ensuring that Donald Trump maintained power, dictatorially or not. That was what they wanted to do. These are the types of people that I talk about who wave their pocket constitutions high in the air. Oh, the Constitution, yet support the man who wants to terminate the aforementioned document. They're liars and they're charlatans who want an autocratic, theocratic, white Christian nationalist state. That's what they want. They don't care about the Constitution. In practice, that has meant, as on January 6th, rejecting the rule of law, court orders, and the democratic processes that thwart far-right policy goals in favor of conspiracy theories and armed resistance. You'll remember the many interviews that I've played of Stuart Rhodes right here on this program with the likes of Alex Jones, where Stuart Rhodes said, oh yeah, we're going to have an ammunition dump, a stockpile of ammunition and guns just outside the District of Columbia on January 6th. So if need be, we will water the fertile crops of liberty with the blood of patriots. He didn't say that, but it's along the same melodramatic lines as that. More than a decade of recruitment has led the group to collect at least 306 members who have described themselves as current or former employees of the Department of Homeland Security, according to POGO, which is the aforementioned Project on Government Oversight, which reviewed the leaked membership documents from the group in partnership with the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. Department of Homeland Security agencies include, now here is something that I think does give us a glimmer of hope, that this isn't just headquarters DHS here in Washington, D.C. It's these other disparate radical or tending toward radical groups like Customs and Border Enforcement, like ICE, these types of groups. DHS agencies include U.S. Customs and Immigration Services, the Transportation Security Administration, and the U.S. Secret Service. Most of the self-described DHS employees asserted that they were retired, but at least one claimed to be an active duty Secret Service agent. Another said they were a supervisor with Border Patrol, according to the documents reviewed by POGO. So listen, this is something I've been talking about as well, the radicals within the United States Secret Service, those who aided in the attempted overthrow of the United States government. Remember the mass text deletion that happened on their watch in just the hours after the insurrection. The historic event, a day that will live on in infamy, that we will remember for generations to come. They just happened to delete a bunch of text messages. The full membership list, which Insider reported on in September, includes more than 38,000 names. Rachel Carroll Rivas, Deputy Director of Research, Reporting and Analysis at the Southern Poverty Law Center Intelligence Project, said the Oath Keepers succeeded at presenting themselves publicly as a constitutionalist group, but that it was always extremist and conspiracy-minded, seeking out law enforcement and military recruits for the perceived credibility it would lend an otherwise fringe organization. But it also targeted veterans and police because their skill set could prove useful in an armed struggle which they failed at. That's a real manipulation tactic to target people for a particular skill and then bring them into a violent and ideological movement, Carol Rivas said in an interview. I think that's giving a little bit too much credit to these individuals, that they were manipulated into the organization. I think that these people have a tendency toward this thought, a separatist ideology, especially those in the border patrol, who are staving off the brown menace as they see it. These groups are rooted in a white supremacy outlook on policy and on what the country should be. Many of these people want a white ethno-state. Many of these people are dedicated religious viewers of Tucker Carlson and his nightly white supremacy fireside chat on Fox News. This is dangerous, and the federal government better wake up before it's too late and root these idiots out of their powerful positions. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. I'm at Dollemore. And if you appreciate what I do, if you appreciate the information that I bring to you on a daily basis, click that join button, see what's involved, and become a channel member. And for as little as $1.99 a month, you can become a channel member and help produce what I do right here. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support what I am doing right here and the content that I'm creating. I will see you next time. Until I do, keep your head on a swivel, be genuine, take care of one another.